to another 15 minutes of tangling. So yesterday we were working on Marasu here, and I had just laid down some graphite for shading, so I'm going to use my tortillion to go ahead and smooth in that shading. It's looking pretty good. I love how this goes from a pretty flat shape initially to quite dimensional and contoured once you add your shading and highlighting. Yeah, there we go. So it's a bit later in the evening. Definitely hear some bird song, and every once in a while I can hear some frogs, which I just like that sound. It's kind of fun. Other than that though, it's kind of peaceful out, which I really appreciate. It's a little later in the evening. Maybe by the time I'm done tangling, the sun will be beginning to set, and I might be able to get some pictures of that. There's a little bunny romping away in the grass next to me. I can hear him moving about. He's really cute. I've had a rather restful day, which has been nice, being that I've been spending so much time on work lately. It was good to spend a little bit more time today, taking a little bit of a step away, taking a little bit of a break. I had time to catch up with some friends and catch up with my sister. It's really nice to get in contact with everyone. All right, so I'm wondering if I want to add a little bit more of graphite or if I'm satisfied with the way it is now and want to just go ahead and add my highlights. I think I'm going to go with using my white charcoal to add sort of the center line, like shine highlight, and then we'll make a decision after that. So we're just making a highlight right down the center of each of the spiral. Gives it the effect of a shine. And suddenly it goes from kind of flat to quite dimensional. I love how Zentangle patterns sometimes have that sort of magical step where they go from mundane to magical. I feel like highlighting is that step for this particular pattern. Pretty nice. All right, I'm going to take my tortillion and blend that a little bit. Just moving in small circular motions with my tortillion. when I first started using Renaissance paper or watercolor paper or watercolored backgrounds, and I would highlight using my white charcoal, I never really liked this step of blending it in with my tortillion. I felt like it sort of made it blurry. But then I also found if I didn't blend it properly, my white jelly roll wouldn't lay down properly on the paper. I couldn't write well with it. So if you're struggling to put down white jelly roll, it may be because, I don't know if it's the powder or residue from your white charcoal is getting in the way of your white jelly roll pen. So I always try to make sure that I'm blending this in fairly well, so that by the time I go in with my white jelly roll pen, that the jelly roll pen can write nicely. All right, there we go. So now it's time for, oh, it looks like I don't have my white jelly roll with me. I only have my typical Zentangle supplies. So we'll have to add the white jelly roll at another time. So let's see, what shall we do? I'm going to turn our page, and we're going to start working in this section right here. And I would like, what pattern would I like to put in there? So I'm thinking I would like to add in the pattern All Stars here. Initially, I thought I would put well in here, but we used well both times, both different versions of well when we were drawing in our Motherhood knot, and I didn't want to repeat it again. So I'm thinking All Stars would be a pretty fun pattern to draw in this section. So I'm going to start by laying down a grid of dots. In the courtyard around me, there are all these beautiful hydrangea bushes. And I don't know if they deliberately treated the soil so that some of it's more acidic and some of it's more basic. But there's a beautiful mixture of pink and blue blossoms. All right, I've got my grid in. So I'm going to, around each dot, make a seed shape. And it's going to alternate from vertical to horizontal. Oh, it seems like there are more than one frog over there chirping away. Now when I do my next row down, I'm going to make sure to start with the opposite. So this one was vertical, so I'll make this one horizontal to maintain that pattern. I was thinking earlier today, I haven't been out to the nature area in quite some time. So I don't know if I'll go tomorrow, but it's definitely in the mind that I should get out there at one point. It's been a while. I know we've had a lot of rainy days, but I think it would be really nice to walk in a different place every once in a while. So lately I've been walking a lot around where I live and UVA grounds, so it might be nice to take a little trip out to the nature area. And being that I haven't been out there in a while, it'll be interesting to see what's blooming. Alright, so this one's going to have to be vertical. Oh, while I'm here, I noticed the muka we put inside of this pencil. I did not add highlights and shading to the muka itself, so at one point I'll probably go back and do that. Alright, we've got our grid of seeds. Alright, so we're going to do a bit of takeoff and land here. So from the left side of this vertical seed, I'm going to take off from there, curve down, and then land on the right side of this vertical seed. And then start again, so take off from the left side and land on the right side. Take off from the left, land on the right. Alright, let's see where we have to fill in. So here it would take off and go that way. And this one here. Alright. Then I'm going to flip. And do the same thing. Alright, one more row. Okay, so we make these like really interesting little shapes here, like a little bit of a reticulum or a grid. So whenever we have these intersections, I'm going to go ahead and round them. It's so fun to listen to all the bird song in addition to the frogs chirping. So each one of these sections, we're going to get to sort of play around with how we fill them in, similar to how we played around with filling in punzel. So it does create a nice little reticulum in which you can play at different designs and patterns. If you want to know more about this pattern and some of the interesting things that you can do when you're filling it is in the Madame Renaissance book. So you can get some really great inspiration and ideas from that. Perfect. Well, that's our 15 minutes for today. So tomorrow we'll pick back up by filling in these All-Stars reticulum. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.